Premo achi mamunyina hamama kwa Badiba UTV so braso say we in some outdoor and sakanwa. Ya sonny the free studios and worship us at Beka Junction and crying. Ye the best sumo baby biara will be a social media would on so. Ye live so aya no share one light no share near kwechi amu bibiara so ati yenka. And some near dear urban in Mokwa asoya sene this way chocolate drink. A Ghana cocoa near dear ye edepa ya no one be. Your best point savings and loans and the best assurance. Special ice, mineral water, and drinks are all obi. Sewa closet, ashamata dear, amaloless locks for IMT at the Amamia. And some of the demo akotinu ebi and the same. Ghana Mampenny, and now the Danko Kufuado, the Ato Liberia of Wenim, second Maminka Biomukita Munehia, a promotion or more and some ye. A Mampenya Bedia Cheswa Casadia to Jachim say, a barefoot in Tansha Shaya, what the Abaya Digital no, a idea be a eboa echo etiaketas sha, and ma or mino echo and muye. Ghana for be actual margin their fa disadel school no and koda nasa brantiko bi omi obi menank wokunu no eho ensem Ghana for be actual margin e de afa home ye betie sidwom ahwe wona omoto electrical and musical instruments no omode atodwa se enema no omokrade ba no dollar no akoso bekro na mu so no enema ne bo no so no enhyeda enkoyi eto omusre aban no se wonye bibi emfa ho do hwe ba ko entemagudie ka ho be yes force and ye dibesu mo bidin de akua ajewa kodia fensamu no kiremu eni Ghana Mampenny na adodanko Akufuado akasa de atodwa ache Liberia mino say ye hwe enema ekoso kabimamika bimfinhye aduonu ni no eyade bia mu odupanto mo hwe no mu kitamu ye wo kiremu se enche aye October bo so mekọ akoto aba ayi Mampenny enwu ehia no mo enka hu se nima bebre no ebekoyi a ese kabimamika bi no ene di hene wode nse we atodwa ebra oman no edi omafihyiada eye Independence Day eye finhye wo ha ene aduoso ensia 176.
Monrovia in those days was a very vibrant city, and I'm very pleased to be back here again in a city which I have to say is regaining its pride of place as one of the most vibrant cities in West Africa. On behalf of the government and people of Ghana, on the occasion of Liberia's 176th Independence Day celebration, I congratulate warmly President George Weah, the government and people of Liberia on this momentous achievement. Indeed, if there's any country in West Africa that has shown resilience and the will to persevere in the face of numerous challenges and obstacles, there is no better example than Liberia, and this is worthy of high commendation. Furthermore, Liberia has the great distinction of being the only nation on the continent that has never suffered foreign colonization. Ghana and I are deeply grateful for the award by President Weah of the honor of the Collar of State, which I would wear and treasure for the rest of my life. Ghanaian troops formed an important part of the contingent that has helped to maintain the peace in post-conflict Liberia. These interventions represent positive chapters in Ghanaian history, hence my understandable feeling of pride. Excellencies, giving your people hope for a violence-free, fair, and transparent election, the theme for this celebration, imposes a sacred responsibility on each and every Liberian to contribute their quota to the construction of a happy and prosperous Liberia, in which all Liberians, particularly the youth, the women, and the vulnerable in society, will have equal opportunities to realize their potential and build lives of dignity. That is when the nation's independence will continue to be meaningful. Giving our people hope means you must always bear in mind the words of the oft-cited maxim, which says, and I quote, that which unites us is far greater than that which divides us, unquote. So whether you are Bassa, Gio, Jabo, Kwele, Kru, Vai, Mandingo, Mende, Congo, or from any other ethnic group, I appeal to you to look beyond from where you come. You must deepen the cohesion amongst you and promote a spirit of reconciliation for the sake of your beloved country, its progress and prosperity. You are Liberians first and foremost, and I urge you to wear that accolade with pride. If there has to be a fight amongst you, that fight must be to work together to provide the Liberian people with a good quality of life. We must start, as you're doing, with investing in our children and young people as the surest way to guarantee a prosperous future.
National Development Conference eno Jumedi Pentecost asafo no mpanifo ahyehye na ebra course no mampanya be de cheru abawumia ekobi kwa kasaye mu no woche mu se ya befo hyehye ayini ya digital no wode aba no aboa amoma no sakraye abam afesu corruption no etu ase enti ayade bi aye atwafatase bonabaso fisiwayade.
The behavior of the people determines the transformation of a nation. And this is why, as a government, we have focused on putting in place systems that will reduce the role of the human factor and enhance transparency through digitalization of the economy. We have put in place systems that will encourage or compel morally upright behavior. We have digitalized the operations of the DVLA, and it's now one of the world-class institutions operating in the country. You don't really need guru boys and to pay bribes to work in that. Applying for a passport today is a very easy process. You don't need to go and pay guru boys. You can do it online. It will be delivered for you, and you can proceed. Electricity Company of Ghana, today, you can buy your credit on your mobile phone. And it is very, very simple. I will tell you one thing. We looked at the data, and for a period of 4 years or so, the revenues of ECG were virtually constant. I said, this cannot be possible. How can you get more customers and your revenue is constant? And the interesting thing was that the value was virtually the same, the constant value. They didn't even take their time to change the value. So we said, no, we need to send in a team to look at the architecture of revenue collections at ECG and digitalize the process properly. And after this completion of this work from the digitalization process, you've increased from 450 million to 1.2 billion by doing nothing but making sure all payments are now electronic, no cash, and reconfiguring the architecture of the payment system at ECG. That's all we did. Similarly, at the passport office, we have increased revenue from 1 million Ghana cedis a year to 64 million Ghana cedis a year. So these things, when you look at the nature of behavior in these institutions, there was clearly a lot of leakage. But through digitalization, we are compelling behavior which is morally upright. If there is one church which has over the years, and particularly in recent times, risen to its duties of being a steadfast partner of government in the development of the nation, he there says it is the Church of Pentecost. Indeed, the contribution of the Church of Pentecost to education, healthcare, social welfare, and the financial development of Ghana continues to merit unalloyed gratitude of the Ghanaian people.
Adisia for mujinim de netetiye edi free afidie badwemba meche ICT ne ho no aya na empempi no ebi mu ede ye niema ensem fata ebi de yesakawa ebi de bunkrofo faso na namso amanim de ne yesi etimi nya fam no nwie mudie emran so abasawa wo yesa de ne so mu a ene wuni we enam so mapanyi kwanche fa wono ena Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications wada no engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashibe ede atodwa kire se mu a mo be yesa de be che mu timusua computer na mo fanya de pa.
Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana, Edwon Tumabo, Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, they know. Edi ICT Muntiti, Amadushan for Natcherefua, or Fonse Watch Mansamans in the moon, Ewo, a poemantemo. Nantitia wants a kind be a ICT coding. Midday see no and a quantitative opinion, or the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications are no. Engineer Dr. Kenneth Ashigbe, worker said to when him sent it here on second from Bois, no my gun and fun to my pen friend, yes, say, what the Bible Bokrono.
We create awareness among Nkolano. Na ya start Nkolano so acheche. Na nyamincha de MP na yedi mechi eba ha no honorable Oponko mano. Osi o set up ICT and coding lab. Inti ano de be ne se na ye acheche ye be san koso ache teachers no sa coding ade na ne ICT lab no so bus be ho inti de be ne se nkola no ye be schedule mo enne abna da obi baba wukwada obi baba na nkola na ba no ma be ade na o ye kye mo ha no mesua
eno akire no na kwanchefo panyina with the Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana no engineer David Gowu enso kasa de atudwa so waye won chefa de aboane aka ene se mpinfo akeka wo Ghana musoso no adusuanfo obeso wona asene na woni ndia won sakan ebetumi akonkan.
But we realize that doing this in the big cities alone, we are depriving the young people from the rural areas this access to practical hands-on use of the computer. With the few constituencies that we have done, we are also appealing to other MPs, other stakeholders, other district chief executives, other district directors to put themselves together, get some resources, and then get a caravan to their district. Let's do the awareness program and let's find ways of getting computers for our young people so that every weekend or every week they will take turns and come to the lab and learn how to develop something, how to use a computer to create something, how to use a computer to solve problems within their own communities and their own societies.
Emresebe ni usi adise wo fo ase Liberia na mu emresebe fie opinini sai wo so afa nkrato aso ye no da no oromanyamfo koju oponkro maka sai bo mpinfo ba so pa se mabu na wona bato mpisu aso nimdi atisei wo ma wonsa akambie
coding and ICT caravan we say abekanyensa e wo ofo ase ayebi constituency ha sei ebeboa ya chechefo ene ye nkwala no ma abefo afidie computer ya omo ayenhu bi da omo a omo mfa omsanso obi mumuda omo ma kind nkrata keke no omo nya de abroni friend of practical knowledge. Apart from the practical exposure to ICT related matters no coding nankasa ya de a person omo fi ase tiase say you to me the computer solve problems bebre ben artificial intelligence ni ade abe ni na ni coding say na be code ya computer no say ohu ya onye ni say ohu ya onye ni say and then say nkomo na ye ni nkwala ni di about your teenage pregnancy ni ade kwan ye to me fast the computer ni artificial intelligence solve no ayade o madwen fi ase eba so.
Na apoye mantima babeto dwa so owura bi esusu se woye kromfotechi amoa na adehye won mukufo aduane ne potemo ache no aburu no ekuno ye kone ne yense ntweni akrofi adi ho nkombo Michael Akwaba
ye ne orkia
boye nchiremu esiwo kofo adua bro no beso
bro no a asemu ya na sare hosemu yesiso ye fe ho abogri eye bro no ba ko a ewo kofo adua ewo New Durban South municipality no emu na omanfo a won mo kofo adua ne mpotem na sentem omaso ayeko ewo akromfo a tese unya si dan na bomodin samoni mfufure na akoto wires na also electrician the wire mamia no mo so ma factory ada ne electrician foforo no ma kwotwe wires ni nyina afim sa omanfo yi na addition eso ayeko wom so ehase esinyame krom eba Monrovia eba penkwa ene ne mpotem ene se na sentem asori ewa abogri ene mpotem two streams mpotem way ena ahumachin ye wana enya ne tie se nipa mro addition omanfo a won mo ho a omufie ebembe bia ya arehusam esi omukoye no na branch ba akwa hwe ni fie na beye fisha beye ediasa eko edianan nipa bi abro na to ono mo ema moja enyu no anche bia no mo fe police we mumbre mo ena mabu ni se dabi se moja enyu no keka no ho dia ene ebe wie ne preku ena mo wie no enti wa abra police fo bedu ho no na branch no wa ye nyame dia omanfo omo abogiri awie ne preku pe eno echi no pragia wonu susu se eno ena afoforo beye mienu eka sa branch oda ho enei on catch as fo hu biem no eka no pragia no abogri mrantie etwa gya to mu sɛ dwere bɛ ɛhye no kra ɛno akyi no wayɛ saa wɔn susu sɛ saa abrante ne afofo mienu wɔn de wɔn ho aka nwura no ekɔ wiaeɛ no wɔn asesa edigu abrante yi a wayɛ nyame de ayɛ ɛho posifo a wɔn mo agye so ɛne mpɔtɛ wɔ kofo de abɔ hwii ebepie mu abogri ha wɔn baeɛ no na abrante ne da hɔ afei wayɛ sɛ egu hɔ nom ɛna wɔn atɛbiri no akɔpie ɛyɛ kofo de a aban yɛ asabea baabi a wɔn kora emu ehwɛmu a ɛsɛ posifo yɛ ɛkyerɛ sɛ ɛsɛ wɔn hyɛ aseɛ sɛ abrante no wɔn nim baabi ofi ne din ɛne nipa a ɛka ne ho a ɔmbɛyɛ bibi ɛwɔ abogiri hɔ a adehyia ne ɔmanfo mɛbu ntuturu no afa ne sɛ ɔyɛ krɔnfo na mmom ɔmo susu sɛ ampa sɛ wayɛ sɛ gu ne nsa ɛgu ne ho na nipa bɔnefoɔ aboro no anaasɛ mɛbu no bi aboro ne sɛ ɔyɛ krɔnfo no deɛ nhwɛmu ara na posifoɔ ɛbɛyɛ nti ne ka sɛ posifoɔ kyɛ sɛ nhwɛmu a ɛsɛ ɔmo yɛ w'asɛm no ɔmbɛhyɛ aseɛ ayɛ nhwehwɛmu ɛwɔ asɛm no nti me ne ka sɛ deɛ ɛyɛ ade a ɛbɛtɛbiri emu no ɛde akɔpie kofo de aban yɛ asabea assemblyman ɔwɔ mpɔtɛ ho akyerɛ sɛ sɛ kono bofitai akoso abogiri ama yese mebu no eso aye kubiem se obi a babobɔ krono abogiri ne mpotem do mu so mu a omo fa won se na mum adwobrel na omo se omo so bi mu a omo fa ne mapos for say omo be man instant justice ana so omo be gine nkwa efri ne nsam asema ma che so obeka post for na hwem bi ese omo ye wasa asemi ho no omo aye akowi ase na asema esi e wokofodua abogiri eno no amanebo no esi
mo yense training akrofini etene ka di fepo ye mantembo no na ebe na watchi esu enie enche kra ena videos bi ebeto montene so social media hodo no se abrante kwa bi a wo gentete anasa disua ewo Adisadel school no emu no ne kroni anasa abrante oka no ho no ye junior no wo buma ne kon a wo kunu eni anya asem keto a wo ye kra man ti ebo dade mpamu a wo praye enam so amanipa dodo no aka ho asem tie na UTV yetie ngumontene so ebisa Ghana fo se ne ekoso ewo yento so school sahodo mu no a yesi senior panishi obi no sei enomusi ho na yentu ana moben enhefa ho
uko school sahodo mu o my Ghana mu a junior wo ho na senior wo ho enti wo a wo yekuma na se you junior no ye den senior wo betwa so na so video bi nenam social media so a senior bi esusu se wo twa junior so wanfa kwampa so na wo mia kula ye kon mia a ye wie ye ma ne so empada de mu nani asese panyan na ohokoko twaye no amanfo dodo na de mo no atum bi ko dodo na de mo no atum se ne course no entwa ye UTV kasepo ye tie hogumu ante so Ghana fo bi nso ye gye o madwenkyere efa sansem ne ho
de mo betwa so mo pam no pam de right say so pam no say one pam na the same thing na obi be ka say we oye kra no ya anya no show down wo school all the same thing na full so between answer but pam na obi be da don wa education de say me nyonko ya de pam man kwetena 20 ehu kakra be obi mu abu ntumi ye next time sam go say de ni bi
ti school mu ho de e go say ye de mra bi ko ho wo ko school na say wo ye senior na junior bi ba ye no nkyere say kobono ebi adwuma bi yeso ye ne say apra bi na yeso opra eno ampra eye kasa kire ba so betene won sase de ehunu so ye abofra ne say me kura me ba me mpre.
So they just have to do something about it. If they punish him or her na say still na obusu kosu ye de oye ne dia then they have to just expel
kura afun obi a etimi chi ne tum so ya say to bitun so achi na to ni nyina so beboa
Midday come to say penifo no wa wo be di sa adwuma bia o se ye juwadi free o ma ye juwadi kura ye ntwa wasukura because omo ha adwen pa omo ha adwen na me de me baba na se mo bro na ye na aha no de se mo ha me because na wo ya
Ghana fo be ka se chire no kwanchefo panyina wo da Africa Education Watch ko na no owura Kofi Asare ono so ene etwetwe nkomo
schools no so no ebe hia se ombenya enchechre bebre efa no kwa efa so manage school based violence and different school based violence in the school and let's have bully there no bia na school or say on class na disciplinary committee na come asem na suspend students na yewi debi and me do a criminal and team requirement assault and battery criminal obi bo school a criminal abono assault. I didn't know say ko simple na say e school na suspending him. Criminal conduct. E was say we dey what the police for na police action. Now Fred the bakono now for train say we need to school oba no bi abon but e na ko police for and the best years for say
thinking in Krata, I have a case management protocol for school-based violence. Thinking in Krata, no headmaster saying training on how to handle cases.
Yenyuma ye ene embra ahodre wo ho efa enipa fa ahodie hu no aya na eho entiase no entiase na esempelifo hwe eka ho asema no nti aban lawyer panyin na so ye ene charge adwumako no aka wonti apam ho workshop dakro dwumedie kasa ho a ebebo ama entiase adwuma eno development on national action planner ebeko ye ni ate enyuma ase ne ye fa ahodie no so yabo ho ban.
Over the years, we've realized that our existing legal regime doesn't do a good enough job addressing human rights violations committed by businesses. The normal laws on human rights, they envisage that the rights violator is the state. But in today's world, companies violate rights as egregiously or as badly as the state does. Ghana, over the course of the last 3 years, has begun the process of responding to the human rights regime created by Kofi Annan, which is by developing a national action plan on business and human rights to address areas in which businesses violate rights, and to take steps to ensure that going forward, the rights of persons that live in Ghana that are affected by negative business practices, whether they are human rights related, whether they are environmental rights related, whether they are consumer rights related, that all those things are addressed and are improved going forward. Support businesses in the sense that it will make them more aware of areas that they need to be responsive to when it comes to human rights. It would make it easier for them to comply with their human rights obligations. And it would make them more internationally competitive, because going forward, virtually every country on the planet is going to have a regime such as this. So if you're a business operating in Ghana and you are not human rights aware, that's not going to inure to your benefits.
Government who say the whole world's eyes is on Ghana. Madika Kan in my presentation said last year the very first business and human rights forum in Africa on Ghana, and CCR we have the headquarters of the African Continental Free Trade Area here in Accra. It's a trace. Obia, the whole world is looking at Ghana. In fact, Ghana, say Ghana is the beacon of democracy in Africa, and Ghana is the gateway for democracy in Africa. Obia, so what is Ghana doing to lead the way? It's just quite unfortunate, say, Yatinasi, Amasia, Kenya, and Uganda, or more national action plan. See, I think a few weeks ago, Nigeria saw my omudie. Until GDN said Ghana will be the 4th country in the sub-region in Africa to have an action plan, so that the whole world then will say we are doing something well. We respect human rights, and we are ready to do everything possible to protect the rights of every person, particularly when it comes to the rights that businesses violate. Because now I'm for baby doing say, oh, it's only the states that violate human rights, but businesses also violate human rights, and that is why UN will say they should come up with a guiding principles of business and human rights, and every country will say the normal developing action plan to implement these guiding principles.
Yemaye hu yenhu akwa abaye kompotem akankase bo no emu se okokro bia mu a aya na ama aheman no ene bo ahwese enima betu mponti se na nanom tena se di asem na ekire won so a omusie ko bisa brewetia abaya